Hi, I was given a immigration case, and I will tell you that this case had a lot of variables in it. I had to pull out what I felt was the most important and what I could do in under 10 minutes, to be honest with you. So, my fact patterns were Johan, who is a man, lives in South Africa. He married Carla, who is an Italian and Swiss national, in Monaco. They have two children, one which needs sufficient care to his autism, and Carla recently found out she's about 6 weeks pregnant. They reside in Italy. They both have educations and work experience. He owns his own gym where he's paid mainly in cash, and he's admitted that though he doesn't always pay the tax man, he has, saved up a little bit of money. He also is a veteran from the South African Armed Services, where she is a part-time waitress for one of her parents. And her parents own three different restaurants in Tuscany, and they're fourth-generation farmers in Italy. They both have good financial background, where Johan has saved, like I mentioned, approximately 72,000 euros, and it equals out to be $77,175.38 in our currency here today. Carla has a 25% stake in her family's several restaurants. It's pretty hard to put a price tag on that considering it's in Italy. You don't know how the restaurants are doing and what is 25% worth for fourth generation farmers. Carla used to be a ballet dancer who won several state competitions and won several regional competitions, and got detrimentally injured in her second semester of her last semester of school. And she no longer can dance, but she may be able to teach or coach. Johan has an uncle Brando who lives in Palm Harbor, Florida. His wife, they have been here for 22 years. His wife is a natural born citizen of the United States. They've been asking Johan and Carla to move to the U.S. Carla is pretty hesitant because they live a pretty stylish life in Italy, as she calls it, a lavish lifestyle, and she does not believe it's going to be so lavish in Florida. Johan wants to come over to visit his Uncle Brandon with his wife and Carla to explore some real estate, open a local bank account, apply for Social Security numbers for him and Carla, as well as look into school for the kids. They are planning on staying 3 weeks. Uncle Brando mentioned that Johan has a great real estate connection, is willing to put down the down payment on a house if he can secure finance for the rest. So in looking at everything, I was wondering, okay, what kind of questions can I pull from this? So the questions I pulled from this were, since Johan and Carla travel, do they have valid passports? That would be my first question. Do their children have passports? The answer to that is, for Johan and Carla, seeing that they travel a lot, I would assume that they do have passports. So I would look to see if you could renew their passports or if they are in good standings. And that is with the form DS-82. And for those who want to see what it looks like, DS-82 form looks something like this. And basically, it's basically saying, how's my passport? Am I eligible for renewal along those lines? It's a pretty lengthy application, and it is not a fast turnaround. So the other questions I asked was, do their children have passports? And I'm going to go on the assumption that they probably don't, since they're under 2 years of age, both of them. So I looked for kids, and their application is pretty similar to the DS-82 form, but it obviously is asking for a brand new passport, and it's a pretty lengthy application. So going to that, I looked into their jobs. And does their jobs and the fact that they have steady income, will that be enough to live off here in the United States? Well, Carla's concerned that she's not going to live her lavish lifestyle. And I looked on the website, and the median income for the household in 2015 for Palm Harbor was $45,404. So in my opinion, if you're making $75,000 in United States dollars, you're doing pretty good. The next question I thought of is, since Johan said he pays monthly in cash, does he have documents to show that his income is steady support for his family? Will either Johan's master's degree in biochemistry or Carla's education help them establish the foundation here in the United States? The answer is maybe. Depending on how Johan and Carla fill out the temporary visas would depend on the status. For example, an H-1B is a person in a special occasion that can handle projects administered by the Department of Defense. Since Johan has his master's in a relatively field that is possible for him to obtain a specialty job in this field. Another way could be Carla's ability to dance. I know she can't dance, but can she coach? She can apply for the Form P3, which allows a person to come to coach and teach under a variety of things, to include music and theater, as well as artistic performance. Now, there is a little clause here, and it says, generally, a citizen of a foreign country who wishes to enter the United States must first obtain a visa. Well, in order to obtain that, just to show everybody what it looks like, not everybody knows what a green card looks like. So I found some examples of what they might look like in different states. The fees would approximately be $700 per application, depending on which way they want to go with this. The other question is, can Uncle Brando sponsor them? The answer, yes. With an I-130 petition form for alien relatives, you must agree to be the financial sponsor and fill out an I-864 form, affidavit of support and acceptance of responsibility. This costs approximately, for 2 kids and 2 adults, $535, totaling $2,140, which is non-refundable. How can Carla and Johan get a bank account if they're immigrants? The answer is yes. The banks will most likely, as I've researched, accept a passport with your name, picture, and signature on it if you're looking to open a bank account. Can Carla get the kids into school with just a passport? The parents need to complete the registration for them as all kids. They do accept passports, but they also need passport. They need a proof of residency. Now, the optional is the Social Security number. They need an immunization, so they would have to go to the doctor and make sure that they are immunized. And a clean bill of health physical examination certificate within the last 8 months. Can Johan and Carla obtain Social Security numbers? The answer is, it's very complicated for this presentation. After you fill out all the forms, you need to fill out everything. And if it goes smoothly, which 8 out of 10 times I've read does not go smoothly, you wait 10 days after you've applied to get your number. So, as I said, this case was a very trying case, but I believe that Johan and Carla could be successful if they find the right paths to go. And I believe that there would be more to this presentation if I had more time. So here are my endnotes, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for listening.